I agree. Yep. I think that. Oh, go ahead, Leon or whoever. Dan.
Yeah, I was going to say, for me, one of the things I do for combating stress is music is a great way for me to kind of release things for myself. And usually what I do is I find some really music match the mood I'm in at that moment. And then as I work through that, because for some odd reason the harmonic stuff and the vibrations of that music I tend to let loose of whatever I've got, and I kind of, in my head, work through what I'm doing without looking at it from such a serious point. And then as I do that, I get into music that really soothes or uplifts me or brings me into a more level state. And then from there, I can usually get back into a good positive point of view and stuff and really look at things and reframe it. And then I can move forward and I'm energized and I'm ready to go. That for me usually works a lot of times. Or one other thing I love to do is it's weird. I love to draw, like, it's not even really drawing. I just draw like weird little squiggle lines, and I do stuff all over my piece of paper, and I just kind of focus on that. And then after a while, I've got a half sheet done or something, but my brain's kind of just really unfocused off of what I've been focused on, and that also usually releases stuff for me too.
Yeah,
awesome.
The arts is a great way to actually turn it into creative energy and can be entrepreneurial, especially if I've known actually some people who started up as musicians who are like, I can't handle everything that's going on around me. So they pick up a guitar, they pick up a violin, they pick up an instrument, or maybe they're just good with vocal singing. And they start doing vocal covers or their own vocal stuff or their own guitar stuff. And then they throw it up on them their YouTube, and people are like, oh wow, someone's singing. And they don't have to be professional. You don't have to be Celine Dion or Michael Jackson. And people got excited about that. And and that's actually real art. Taking something that's bugging you or that you're trying to figure out how to deal with, putting it on camera, letting the world see it, and then people say, I can empathize with that situation. Now we're doing that here saying, I'm a new entrepreneur, it's tough. I see all this dude in a suit saying, you can make $500,000. And then you get stressed out because you're seeing so much stuff on social media, on Facebook. Cedric has talked a lot about this. And then you look at something like this, real genuine people who are working towards a goal, who have a definite idea in mind, who aren't making up anything about their journey. It's all candid. It's the real reality show. And then someone can take that and say, man, I was feeling stressful, I was feeling down about my entrepreneurial goals. They can look at this and they can see, hey, there's people like Dan, there's people like Ron, there's people like me, Chris, who are out there and that's really the crux of it. One of the best ways to get rid of stress is to find a way to explain your situation that other people can sympathize with. Am I right or am I wrong?
Oh, that's why I listen to metal. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I see in this world that I want to change, and knowing that it's going to take a lot more than me to change it, it's really hard to explain. But music is definitely a huge source of release, and I think without metal, I'd be a very different person. I don't think I'd be as poised and calm or as sound as I am, because I've had it since I was so young. I mean, it's just been so important to me, and that's why I've spent over $10,000 collecting it. To me, it's like oxygen. I have to hear some metal every single day, and it's gotten me through a lot of really bad times, and a lot of times when I didn't think I had anything left to live for. It's really been there for those moments, and that's what the beauty of real art is it should be a vessel for some kind of expression and for some kind of connection with another human being. And I think that's a really great way to relieve stress. Another thing that I think is good for stress relief is art, like drawing, like painting and that kind of stuff, because anything to get you out of your own head in those times is excellent. Anything that creates a diversion is excellent for stress. So anyway, next person, chime in, whoever.
Yeah, I liked what James said, actually. I'm going to read it here. We can make music an anchor connected to good vibes. So when we hear the music, it connects with our feel-good emotions. Now, I know some people might say is, a little bit out there, but as Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know the keys to the universe, think of energy, tunes, and vibration.
Well,
and frequency and vibration. So really, is it possible that stress is a vibration down here, and that if we listen to music, engage in meditation, engage in positive activities like personal development, meditation, feeling oneness, everybody has their own way, that we can change our level of, that we can channel our stress to something else by changing the vibration? I know I'm going new age. And yeah, feel free to chime in on any.
Yeah, anybody can.
Something to say about stress?
Go ahead, Josh.
So this is just my personal take on it, but I think that entrepreneurship, and I say this, I've said this for years, is stress city, man. I mean, before I started my own business, I didn't even know what stress was. I didn't know what it actually felt like in your bones to feel stress. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To feel that energy. And those of us out there that are don't have a job at all, 100% entrepreneurs, own our own companies and such like that, we need to understand what it's like not only to have to feed ourselves and our families, but also the people that work for us. You know what I mean? I got a number of folks that they count on me for Christmas presents for their families. I mean, the stress is real. That's a real thought that most people don't really understand when they first get into the game. But stress is something that I like what Kareem said is channelable. Stress is a reason to wake up in the morning. I don't wake up that early, to be honest with you. I start my day at 10 o'clock on purpose, but that's because stress city. Because I've learned to weather the storm. I afford myself certain liberties, and sleeping in is one of them. But stress for me is channeled into production. And I channel. I feel that stress not just on my own shoulders. My needs are pretty much met on a residual income basis, but the people that work for me, more importantly, is where I feel more direct stress. Because not only do I have to provide for myself, and technically I don't have to provide for these folks, but I feel they work for me, and I feel I am their employer. You know what I mean? And so that's, I think, where more of my stress comes from. But if you learn to funnel it and to channel it, and I just, right when you guys started talking about that, I had to look at one of my favorite films, and don't judge me on this being one of my favorite films, but have you guys ever seen The Wolf of Wall Street?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh gosh, you guys have to see it, man. It's the ultimate sales movie. And there's a lot of profanity and other things like that in it too.
That's fine.
Yeah. Reminds me of the life I lived. But anyways, in that he says that, and I won't quote him directly because I don't know exactly what he says, but he says he's talking to a phone with sales guys. These are his salesmen that work for him. He says, are you late for your mortgage? He says, good. Use that energy to pick up the phone and start dialing. Does your girlfriend think you're a loser? Good. Pick up the phone and start dialing. There's money in that phone. And those of us that are in sales or any type of business ownership or sales as part of your life, you need that energy to prospect. And, so stress is very useful when channeled, like Kareem said, properly into motivation to succeed, and just because you get employees or something like that doesn't mean your problems get smaller. They actually get, stress doesn't get smaller, it actually gets bigger. It's magnified by people, especially when you start having kids and other things like that. I mean, you got real responsibilities staring you down the barrel, and you don't have any. I always tell people when you don't have any. Would you flip me off? Is that what you're doing? But
No, Kareem muted me, and I don't know why. Was there interference?
No, big deal. Anyways, what I was saying is when you don't have any way of getting paid other than your own performance, like if you're a nurse, all you gotta do is show up. You know, if you're a mechanic, all you gotta do is show up. Somebody else has figured out the machine that brings in the money. But when you own your own operation, you got to figure out that piece of the pie, and that's the most important piece of the pie, and that's where the most stress comes from. I mean, if you talk to most mechanics or anybody that's not in sales, you know, somebody that just goes to work every day, they're not nearly as stressed as an entrepreneur. They have a different kind of stress because they have a very hard ceiling. You know, I often, and it takes time to get to this mentality, and some of the people on here are older than me and understand what I'm talking about. Everyone probably does. I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but it does take time because I would feel way more stressed out. I mean, sometimes I think about how stressed I would be if I knew that the most money I was going to make this year was going to be 80 grand. And if I knew that was like the ceiling, like there was no way I could make another dime in that where I'm at now in life would be way more stressful than the stress of every morning I need to make sure and go out and make things happen for myself, because I've become accustomed to that. You know, I've channeled that energy into knowing how to prospect, knowing how to go out there and make things happen. And I think, but it doesn't happen overnight. It's very, I'm trying to think how long have I felt this way, because for a long time I was the other way and I thought, gosh, I need a job, you know. And I have friends who will every once in a while they'll call me and we'll do a powwow just like this because they get back into that mindset of, shoot, maybe I ought to get a job, you know, because I'm having a thin month or for whatever reason. But you know, there is no better way to make money than in some type of selling something, you know. And I have a media production company, but I just told you guys I got employees that do most of the actual media production. I don't actually, and sometimes you know, when I'm being honest with people, I'll be honest with folks now, sometimes I feel like, shoot, I'm just a glorified salesman. I used to direct videos, I used to direct television, you know, and sometimes I feel like, you know, that's got its own challenges, but I make more money, you know what I mean? And I think at the end of the day, what personally motivates me, I know that doesn't motivate everybody, I just actually came back from a seminar saying that most millennials are not motivated by money. And I don't know how to motivate those folks. But anyway, for me, that's a big motivator, and that stress, you know, of, you know, I got to make things happen is actually really a positive if you can channel it that way. Now, it can go the other way, and I've ranted on long enough, so I'm going to let everyone else jump in there. But that's what I wanted to say about stress, is that if stress used properly, it can make you rich. So that's that.